Hello dear students, how are you? I wish all of you will be healthy and safe. So students, in this video you will learn about the next sorting technique, that is selection sort. Okay, so what is selection sort? So in selection sort, the smallest or largest, if you are arranging your element in ascending order, so in this case you will search the smallest element. If you are arranging your data in descending order, so then you will search the largest value. Okay, the smallest or largest value among the unsorted elements of the list, it's selected in every pass. So in every pass you select the smallest or largest value and inserted it to the appropriate position. Okay, let's see an example. So this is your original list. So what you will do, so first of all you will assume that this element, it is the smallest number, and you will compare this element to whole of the list. Okay, so 3 is sorry 6 is smaller than 3. No. So 1 is smaller than 3. Yes. So in this case, your smallest element is 1. Okay. Now you will compare the next element. Okay. So 8 is smaller than 1. No. 4 is smaller than 1. No. 5 is smaller than 1. No. So in the first pass, you have found that 1 is the smallest element. Okay. As you found the smallest element, so you will place it to the zeroth index number. So 3 and 1 will exchange their position. So after first pass, 1 will be on the zeroth index number and 3 will be on the index number of the smallest element. Okay, in the second pass you will compare 6 to other elements. So 3 is smaller than 6. Yes. So smallest element is 3. Okay. So now compared to the next element, so 8 is smaller than 3. No. 4 is smaller than 3. No. 5 is smaller than 3. No. So in the remaining list, now 1 is sorted. So now remaining sublist is this. So 3 will be replaced to the 6 and 6 will be placed to the third position. Okay. Now, so now two elements are sorted. Now the time to compare 6. Now compare 6 to other element. So 8 is less than 6. No. 4 is less than 6. Yes. So in this case, smallest element is 4. So now compare to the next element, the 4 is smaller than 4. No. So in the remaining list, this is your remaining list. In this list, 4 is the smallest number. So smallest number 4 will be exchange the position with 6. Okay, so 4 will replace here and 6 will replace here. Clear? Now the next element is 8. So compare 8 to 6. So 6 is smaller than 8. Yes. So now 5 is smaller than 6. First of all, you have assumed that 8 is the smallest number, but as you compare to the next element, you have got 6 is smaller than, so in this case, the smallest element is 6. Okay, but when next you compare to 5, so 5 is smaller than 6. Yes. So in this case, in this list, 5 is the smallest element. So 5 will exchange the position with 8. Okay, so now 5 will be placed to this position and 8 will be replaced to this position. Okay, so after fourth pass you have this list. Now the smallest element will be 6. So compare 6 to 8. So 8 is smaller than 6. Yes, sorry. So in this case there will be no exchanging. Okay, no swapping will be done. So after fifth pass you will get all the elements in sorted order. Okay, so this is the technique of selection sort. Okay, let's discuss this algorithm. So starting from the first element, we search the smallest element in the list. So first of all, you will find the smallest element in the list. Okay, in the list, and replace it with the element in the first position. As you find the smallest element in the list, and you will replace it to the first position. Okay, we then move on the second position and look for the smallest element present in the sublist. And whenever you find the smallest element in the first pass, the next you will search the second element. You will compare the second element to other elements. Okay, in the starting from index 1 till the last index. Okay, we replace the element at the second position in the original list Okay. This is repeated until the array is completely shorted. So you will repeat this pass till you will not get the shorted array. So how many elements are there in this list? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements. So 6 passes will be there. Okay. So try to make the program for this problem, that is selection short. Okay. So what you will do, first of all, write down that is the definition of your function. Definition of your function. So write down definition of function. Def. Name of the function is selection short. And what will be your parameter? Parameter will be your list. What you will do? First of all, you will find the number of elements in the list to count the number of passes. So n equals to length of the list. So start to count the passes. So for this you will use the for loop. So for I in range, how many passes we have? We will have number of passes will be n. That will be equal to the number of elements. Okay. So initially you will assume that your smallest number on the ith index. So initially the value of I will be 0. So smallest number will be on the 0th index. Okay. After that you have to compare your element to the remaining element. So for this you will use the next for loop, that is for j in range. Here the initial value will be the next element. You are comparing your this element to the next element. Okay, so that's why the j will initially I plus 1. Okay, and it will go till the number of elements. Okay, it is clear. Here I am assuming that the element on ith index. So initially the value of I will be 0. So 0th index element is your smallest element. Now the initial value of j will be 0 plus 1. Okay, so you will compare 0th element to the next element. The next will be the next index will be a first index. Okay, after comparing this first index, the next value of j will be 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. So similarly, so in this way you will compare your this element to the remaining elements. Okay, now you will check if your element on smallest index, okay, is greater than the next element. The next index number is stored in j. Okay, if your smallest, if your element, if your selected element is greater than the next element, it means you have found the next smallest element. So now your smallest element will be, initially you have selected that the ith index is the smallest index. Okay, but here you found that smallest index number is not smallest. It is, and the next element is smaller than your assumed number. Okay, so that's why. So in this case, your smallest index will be j. Okay, if you found, so this is the way. After first pass, you will get this is the this loop for to count the passes. Okay, and this loop to compare the element to the remaining element. Okay, now after finding the smallest element, now the time to swap the elements. Okay, so now swap the elements. So list smallest will be equal to list j. Okay, and list jth element will be equals to underscore list. So this is a way to swap the element. Okay. Okay. What I am doing here? Here I am swapping the element. So after first pass, I will get the smallest element in the list, and after finding out the smallest element, you will exchange the position of the element. So what I am doing here? I am repeating again. First of all, I have assumed that the initial value of I is 0. So smallest number will be your 0th index number. So in this list, you will assume that this is your 0th index. So you are assuming that your 0th index number is the smallest element. Okay. Now, after that, you will you will go to the for loop, and it will start from I plus 1. So initial value of I is 0. The next element will be your first index. Okay, 0 plus I. Sorry, 0 plus 1. Here I am writing that is not I plus I, that will be I plus 1. Okay, the first index. Now what you will do? You are comparing. So initial, your element is the smallest, but you are comparing to the next element. So you are comparing your next element. Your element is greater than the next element? No. So in this case, you will get no. So next value of j will be, sorry, you have to use this here. Okay. So next value of j will be 2. Okay. Now you are comparing your element to the second index number. Your element h is smaller than this element. No. So in this case, what will happen? Initially, you assume that this is your smallest number, but now smallest number will be 1. This is the that that thing I am doing here. Okay. Now this is the smallest number. Now you are comparing again. Now you can see your loop is going till end. That is the number of elements. This is the end. Okay. So you have to compare your element till end. Now you will compare, this element is greater than 8. No. This element is greater than 4. No. This element is greater than 5. No. So after completing this loop, you will get your smallest index is j. That is 0, 1, 2. Now you will swap your element. Okay. So this is your smallest index. uh, what will be your smallest index? That is 1. So 1 will exchange to the ith position. So smallest will be replaced to the ith position. Now what you will write here, not maybe j, and you write down here I. Okay. So the smallest, on the smallest index, that is j. So on the jth index, you will replace the ith position element, and the ith position element you will replace to the smallest position. So this is about the selection sort. Okay. Now run your program by calling function, that is calling of function. Okay. So your list, write on my list equals to like this: 78, 12, 15, 45, 10, 2, and 89. Okay, like this. Now, okay, what I am doing. Okay, now call the function. Write down selection short, and you will pass my list. Okay, now print your array, print your list. Print my sorted list each. That is my list. Okay. Now in the program, and you can see your list is in sorted form. Okay. If you want to arrange your data in descending order, so in this case, write down here, it will be not your big, that will be your biggest. Okay. And now you will come, you will write down here less than, not, that will be less than. Okay, not greater than, less than. Write down biggest. Okay. If you use here, now you can see your list is in descending order. If you write down here, if you want to arrange the data in ascending order, so write down here greater. If you want to arrange your data in descending order, so here write down is. Okay, so this is about the selection sort. So this, so now your searching and sorting is completed. So in the next video you will learn about the matrix. Okay, thank you students, have a nice day, be healthy, be safe. So watch this video again and again to know more about selection sort. Thank you.